Hey everybody, welcome to Unit 3. I decided to put together this little intro video for this particular unit just to explain kind of what I'm doing here with these topics. Obviously, evangelism and foreign missions are both really big topics, distinct from each other, yet there is a fair amount of overlap. They're both areas in which women were very, very active in the 19th and 20th centuries as well. So let me explain kind of how I'm defining these topics and what I'm going to be including in these topics. When I talk about evangelists, I am specifically referring to the group of women that carved out careers as evangelists. These are the women who went on preaching tours and led revivals, okay? They are not necessarily ordained. In fact, oftentimes they are actually not, especially in the 19th century, but they were able to have an impressive public ministry career anyway. So here we'll be talking, Amanda Berry Smith, obviously, Joanna Lee, Phoebe Palmer, Aimee Semple McPherson. These women are overwhelmingly associated with like the Methodists, then the Holiness and the Pentecostal movements. There's a good reason for this. These particular religious traditions rely quite heavily on experience, the intercession of the Holy Spirit, and they also allow for lay preaching. And that lay preaching part is really, really critical. While many denominations are hesitant or are, we'll talk more about that in Unit 5, to ordain women, more are willing to allow for lay preachers, okay? So we will dig into that in my section on evangelism, but it gives you kind of a little background. Prepare yourself for that. Now, mission, Protestant global missions explodes in the 19th century. Okay, this is an area that Western women enthusiastically supported. So when I talk about missions, I'm specifically referring to foreign missions, especially in the 19th century here. There is a lot to tackle with this topic. The topic has kind of, a lot of baggage, but it's also it's a very important topic to discuss. More American women were involved in foreign missions in some manner than all other reform or social justice movements combined in the 19th century. Okay, that gives you an idea of how many women were involved in this, either through missions boards, being missionaries themselves, things like that. So one of the reasons I have you reading Amanda Berry Smith's autobiography this week is because she was involved both in domestic evangelism and foreign missions, not to mention her association with the WCTU, which I will talk more about that organization in Unit 4. Kind of regarding your reading list for this unit, of course you have the autobiography by Amanda Berry Smith. This is your major reading for the week. She led a really, really interesting life, and I think you're going to enjoy spending some time with her. You also have an article that I wrote about Phoebe Palmer. She's super, super influential and is often referred to as the mother of the holiness movement. I won't be talking a ton about her in my videos because you will be reading that article. And then you have two chapters. The first is written by Lee Ma, and that is looking at foreign missions in China. And then you have a chapter about West African missionary women evangelizing in the 21st century. I think this adds a really interesting perspective. In the West, Christianity can occasionally feel a bit stagnant, but in Africa, Christianity is growing, and they are sending missionaries out into the world, including to the West. So you see this reversal of missionary activity here, and that's what's being explored in this article. All right, I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you very much. Bye.